Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another STARCAST. I'm your host, Bisqit, and what is this guy doing right off the bat? I usually don't have anything to talk about this early, but he can't even get his SCVs into the mineral line, so this should be interesting. In any case, this is a little 1v1 ladder play sent to me by my boy Butters, and I think we're going to start off a new series here where Butters sends me his ladder play and I break it down and give him comments from my perspective and hope he just gets better over time. So this, I guess, will be my live feedback, and we may title the series something for now. I guess we'll just call it the Butters Ladder Improvement Thread Series Games, because that flows perfectly. In any case, this is going to be 1v1s, and we're going to see how it goes. I don't really have tons of experience in breaking down somebody's play, but I can certainly call it like I see it and offer perhaps a third-party perspective of how things are going. So Butter's starting off with a little extractor trick. A talking tree over here looks to be pretty standard. I think Butters is in the bronze. So actually, I know Butters is in the bronze 1v1. So this is going to be bronze level play. And then as we go on throughout the series of my casts, hopefully that'll change. I might give you ranking information on where he is on the ladder, or I may just tell you when it switches over into maybe silver, assuming he gets through silver and then gold and all that. So I will keep you guys up to date on that. And yeah, here we go. So pretty standard builds out of here. Terran actually going triple depot. He is way too much supply, and he has not built a barracks yet. So as you can probably tell by this point, this guy doesn't really know what he's doing. This barracks should have gone down a long time ago. He's not utilizing, he's not even building SCVs with his 35 supply. And yeah, so this guy really doesn't know what he's doing. Hopefully we see better action out of Butters. Butters spawning pool coming down first. Spawning pool extractor. Not going for a fast expo, which is a little out of character for Butters, I will say. And this guy over here. Butters, good for you. Already over here getting scouting information. Sees that there are 3 supply depots. You know what? I take this back. This guy may have known what he was doing, or he may have thought he knew what he was doing. Because he's like, I just want to wall off as quickly as possible in case I get 6 pooled in the Bronze League, which I'll just tell you right now, that happens quite a bit. What are you doing with this guy, Butters? He could have easily done that with a barracks instead of 3 supply depots. This is a really, really weak wall, and although I guess it would guard against an early 6 pool, I just don't think a wise choice. Especially once you get into higher levels of play, like this is going to kill you. Because you can't really, I don't know. It's a weak wall. Keep that in mind, Butters. This is about as weak of a wall as you're gonna get. So you could just baneling bust that, and it's not even a wall at all. In any case, Butters putting down his expo over here. So getting that around the 4-minute mark. He's getting that, scouting out the other bases, setting up overlords for vision. This guy hanging out, still just waiting probably for another scout. First Marine on the field, just hanging out by the wall, not doing much whatsoever. And yeah, what's he going to be doing here? Got SCVs queued up. Butters still just waiting on that hatch. I'll give you a little comment right here, Butters. I will say you have a lot of minerals right now. You've got 434 stored up, and you're not really doing much with it. So I know maybe you're thinking you're going to spend it in one big fell swoop, and maybe you will. I'm not saying this is a bad move. You are supply blocked. Anytime you have a bunch of minerals early on in the game, try and at least plan ahead and think what you're going to use it on. Don't just let it accumulate. So there you go. Alright. You just spent a bunch of money. What'd you spend it on? Overlord, second queen, and speed. There you go. I think you probably could have done that speed a little earlier. But yeah. At least you're spending your money, so that's good. Check that stat at the end of the game, average unspent resources, and try and keep that as low as possible while keeping your resource allocation rate? No, resource collection rate? That's the word I'm looking for. Keep that high. So this guy's just massing up Marines up by his wall, putting down a 3rd barracks, going for STEM. Nothing too crazy right now. Tech lab. All this tech, I would say though, this is behind. He is behind on his build. He's only got 6 Marines on the field. He's got a weak wall. He's got way too much supply. He's got 20 food. You've got 33. You're already way ahead in this game. You are way ahead. I would advise you at some point to scout again with this drone. He'd probably get killed pretty quickly by these Marines, but you'd be able to see that he does have a bunch of Marines. Let's see. What do you know? You don't know much right now, but you've got an idea. You know he's walled off, so he's probably going for some sort of tech. Double engineering bay. So this guy looks like he's going to go with just a bunch of Marine upgrades. He's probably doing combat shield here, or he should. And yeah, Butters got his expo up. He's got a little army going on. Let's see what kind of units we got going on. Oh yeah, you know, 6 Zerglings, 3 Queens, and a Spine Crawler. He's spreading his creep. It's looking pretty good. I mean, he's got enough. 2 Spine Crawlers, sorry. Got enough to defend. I mean, if the guy pushed in with all his Marines perfectly, he could probably do some pretty serious damage, but I'd say this is pretty safe considering what you know. I'd say this is definitely pretty safe. You've got the supply lead by 1.5 miles, and this guy does not seem to know what he's doing. He's putting down 2 more barracks, but he's not even utilizing the ones that he has. So, I mean, he's not building any Marines out of here, and yet he's building more barracks. I do not think he has the economy for this, so this guy is clearly an idiot. And I'm sorry that I called you an idiot, Talking Tree, but I think it's true. Alright, Butters. So at this point, you should probably look to do something. I mean, he hasn't done anything. You're just macroing up, right? Oh, you got another hatch going down? Where? What? Oh, it's a lair. Hello, I know my icons. Alright, so you're doing your lair. You're going to the next tech. I mean, this makes sense. You're making the right moves right now. I don't know if you're doing it on purpose, though, which makes me worry. Because this guy could have a lot more Marines at this point. He could have a starport being ready to do drops at this point. You really don't know. Because you haven't done the second scout. I mean, you could poke in with an overlord and just look at the engineering bays or something. But, yeah, this guy's just doing straight Marine upgrades, building Marines, not utilizing all his barracks, but queuing up extra ones at the ones. He's got an extra Marine queued here, but he's not building one out of either one of these. So this guy clearly has no idea what he's doing. Finally, he gets supply capped at 35. I hate to keep making fun of this guy, but he is bad. And Butters, what are you doing? You've got a ton of money. You've got 1,000 monies. You've got Banelings. You've got Queens. At this point, I mean, you're 10 minutes in. Haven't seen any serious aggression. Oh, there we go. There we go. Doing a little scout, checking on the expo. I like that. You know there's not an expo down. You have so much money, I would expand right here if I were you. But, okay, Spire going down. Bunch of Zerglings. So you got a bunch of Zerglings, bunch of Banelings. You got Queens. There you go. Get the scout with the Overseer. That is going to be a smart move if you actually do it. And yeah, things are looking pretty good. You got a bunch of Lings. I mean, look at supply right now. He'll probably hold this. I don't know, though. I mean, a couple Banelings, that's done. And then if you get a good Baneling hit, that's going to die super quick. I feel like you could just pull in and crush him right now, and even if you didn't, he wouldn't have enough left over to do a counterattack that would even matter, because you could remass up. And behind that attack right now, what I would do is I would expand. I would expand behind it. Leaving some Banelings, good. Defensive Banelings, always good. But I feel like this attack, if the Banelings are used correctly, could just end it, or get really close to ending it. So, let's see what you do. And I think I figured out that you can click on the portrait and it follows. I don't know if you have to hold click. Let's test on this guy. Do I have to hold click? Yeah, I have to hold click. Alright. This guy's scouting again. Still very smart, Butters. Very smart. Just keep poking in. You could put him on patrol command if you wanted and just set him up to patrol back and forth between those 2 spots. Keep checking on the expo. Speaking of expos, you have a ton of money. I really think, especially with Zerg, with needing larvae, you should expand with this kind of force out in the center. Maybe even double or triple expand at this point. But yeah, let's see how this attack does. I'll follow it by holding down the mouse, because I'm a genius now. Alright. Let's see how this works. Banelings holding up the rear. Joining up with the army. Let's see how this goes. Mr. Terran over there is just creating supply depots. Okay, he actually has a starport down, so this has been going on while I've been following your army. Got the factory down, not using anything off the tech lab, so probably no reason to use it. And building 3 medevacs at once. Off that. Okay, so here's going to be the engagement. Nope, not doing the engagement. More banelings, probably smart. Got to really make sure you get that wall off. And, I mean, if you just hit this with all banelings, this guy's not going to be able to micro away. You could just full-on baneling. I guess you don't have the gas for it. You have tons of minerals. You should totally expand. But yeah, now you know what's up. First medevac on the field. But yeah, this guy's only got 40 Marines. You've got 36 Zerglings and 19 banelings and 11 Mutalisks. What are your Mutalisks doing? Yeah, there you go. You're probably thinking the same thing right now. Dual prong attack. Okay, I like this. Mineral line. He has no air defenses. No, do the mineral line. Okay, this works, I guess. Assuming you think he's making tanks. But okay, now his stuff's pulled off the front wall. Now is when you should definitely do the baneling bust on the front. Mutas are just sitting there. Baneling bust. Where are you? You pulled off all his units. What's going on? What am I missing? What is he doing? He's making 40 more Zerglings. Alright, I mean, you've stopped his time collecting minerals, although he should be back on the line right now, so you can't really... There we go. So you shouldn't really rely on that every time, but yeah, I mean, that was good. Little harass, keeps him on the defensive posture. Lots more banelings going on right now. Honestly, you've got this. This is overkill at this point. He's got nothing going on, especially with the placement of his units. You just keep the muta harass going on over here, and then just baneling bust the front wall, and he's done. Even if he survives it, he's done. I mean, you'd supply cap him, I think, if you took out these 3 alone, so he'd be just completely screwed, and you could just send in as many more Zerglings as you want. He's scouting you with this, but what does he know? He knows little to nothing about you. Yeah, attack. Seriously, attack. You're delaying the inevitable. Supply lead, you should totally expand behind this. You have way too many minerals. Muta's perfect. Okay, Muta's on the mineral line. Perfect. Banelings should have gone in first. There we go. And now just demolish everything. Just send Zerglings to the mineral line. Just wherever you want. Just send them everywhere. And this should be game. All up in the units, just tearing it apart. Baneling hits. Quasi-effective. Just send everything out, and all over the base, destroying everything. This is a good game. And talking tree drops, just as expected. So, I know I wasn't really giving the play-by-play as much as I was just giving my opinions on how I think the battle should have gone. I don't know if you like that, or if I should change it up. And I'm not just talking to Butters, I'm also talking to other people out there in the audience. Give me your perspective on whether or not I should just constantly be giving the approve, disapprove comments thing, or if I should just cast it with a few comments, or give my comments at the end. Again, I'm learning as I go. This is my first time just really trying to break down as much as possible. And I guess my overall assessment of this game is, yes, you won. This guy's terrible. He made a million mistakes. He just did everything wrong. You had way too many resources. You should have expanded many more times than you did. 17 minutes, you're still on 2 base, and you never got attacked. You should have easily expanded at least 2 or 3 more times, especially with the minerals that you had. You could have attacked earlier than you did, and at least done a little bit of harass. You were overly safe about it, which is fine, I guess, but if you're going to be overly safe and sit back with your army, you should expand. You should expand and sit back with your army and control the map. Don't sit back with your army and don't expand, I guess is what I'm saying. When you attacked with your Mutalists on the mineral line, when you saw him pull his Marines to you and you had this force by his front door, you could have come up and taken out those bunkers a lot earlier, lost nothing. You could have just taken him out and run away. It would have supply blocked him. It would have been really annoying, and put him behind even more. So those are my main tips. Expand. That dual prong attack worked at the end. I think you should have done it earlier. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much the comments I have for this one. So I'm going to go on to the next ones and hopefully have some comments. If you have any feedback for me, I'm talking to any viewers out there, and I'm also talking to Butters himself. Give me a breakdown of what you think of how I should go about doing this, and I'll catch you guys on the next cast. Peace.